Please welcome Chevrolet Vice President, Scott Bell.
All right, good evening. Great to have you all here, and just thank you for taking the time to join us for what will be a very, very special night and an unforgettable one. I can assure you of that. We are here tonight to celebrate an American icon, the Chevrolet Corvette. Right, the Corvette was first introduced, hard to believe, over 70 years ago in 1953. And Corvette has always embodied the ultimate Chevrolet performance, design, and engineering innovation, and has raised the bar every generation we put on the street. And thanks to its strong legacy and innovation, Corvette not only continues to be a complete success in the marketplace, but it actually dominates the luxury sports segment with a staggering 50% market share, with competitors like the 911 in that segment. So it's probably no surprise Corvette has always attracted customers new to our brand, but none before like the C8 platform. And 5 years ago, which is hard to believe that was 5 years ago, and I'm sure many of you were with us that night, we introduced the 8th generation Corvette. That Stingray that we pulled out that day was the first ever to have a mid-size engine configuration and an incredible, incredible design. A supercar beating performance capability and unparalleled consumer demand, and we have enjoyed that for 5 years. We still have customers to this day on waiting lists for this incredible, incredible car. And we didn't stop with Stingray, as you all know. We put the world on notice with the Corvette Z06 just a few years later. And that was developed in parallel with our championship-winning CIR race car. And Z06 is track-borne, street-ready, and it's a supercar. And Z06 provides a driving experience like no other, which starts with the sound, that great, great sound and feeling that's generated by that LT6 engine, that 5.5-liter flat plane crank Gemini V8, which is hand-assembled by our master engine builders in our own performance center at Bowling Green Assembly. And at 670 horsepower, it is the highest horsepower, naturally aspirated V8 to ever hit the market in any production car. Then last year, we introduced a Corvette that we said was one like none. As the first all-wheel drive Corvette, the first electrified Corvette, this sure-footed E-Ray is a Corvette for every season and every surface. And it's capable of 0 to 60 in a blistering 2.5 seconds, which made it, at the time, the quickest Corvette ever. Now, this is all new Corvette family, builds on an awesome foundation that started with that mid-engine Stingray. And tonight, you all are going to be the very first to see the 2025 Corvette ZR1, which is all about unrelenting power, premium prestige, and refinement. Now, dating back to 1970, when we first debuted the ZR1 performance package on the 3rd generation Corvette, this package laid a foundation for some of the quickest accelerating, fastest, and most capable handling Corvettes to come. And since then, there have only been 3 other ZR1s, the C4, the C6, and of course the C7. And that 4th generation ZR1 was the Corvette built to take on the world. And at the time, it was a super bet that all our engineers could have hoped for. It was then that it earned the title King of the Hill. Now, each time that nameplate has returned, Chevrolet has raised the bar. And every time ZR1 was about pushing the boundaries of Corvette's capabilities. The latest ZR1, I can guarantee you, does not stray from that ethos. From Stingray to Z06 to E-Ray, and now ZR1, the Corvette family continues to elevate with each new iteration and challenge the very best in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to say the unthinkable has arrived. the very first to see the all-new 2025 Corvette ZR1, and I can assure you the unthinkable is definitely here on this stage tonight. And also, now making its debut for the very first time is the Corvette ZR1 convertible. So ladies and gentlemen, the man whose vision and passion for performance continuously pushes us and our entire company to do the unthinkable, our president, Mark Gross. And also, the man who is then tasked to making the unthinkable a reality is our Corvette Chief Executive, Taj Jector. Taj, thank you very much for a great car. Mark, welcome to the stage. All right, you guys take it away.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everybody. You know, I think I can speak for Scott and the entire team with Taj when I say how thrilled we are to be here tonight doing this, right? Come on. Every time I drive this car, I have to pinch myself and remind myself it's really real. It's been exactly 5 years and 1 week since the night we first showed the mid-engine C8 Corvette to the world. That night, Taj and I explained that the 7th generation of the Corvette, that we had essentially pushed the limits of what we could do from that configuration. C7 was as close to perfection as a front-engine, rear-drive Corvette was going to get. There was no getting around it. We were approaching the limits of physics and applying power to the ground with that setup. That's why, on July 18th, 2020, we introduced what Zora Arkus Duntov has always wanted, a mid-engine, absolutely perfectly balanced Corvette. I also remember specifically saying that evening as the C8 Stingray sat proudly on that stage, we are just getting started. We knew more power was available. We knew more power and performance were coming. As Scott mentioned, they arrived in the form of the Z06, the E-Ray, and followed by the Stingray. And now we have the return of the king, the ZR1. We're talking about a lot of horsepower here, aren't we, Taj?
Yeah, a lot of horsepower. We're talking about 1,064 horsepower. And that's impressive enough, but it comes with no asterisk. That's pump fuel, no ethanol, no race gas, no special calibrations, straight from the factory. That's what it delivers.
That is an awful lot, Taj. The first time it's ever been 4 digits, right?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. That
It never came close.
It makes it the most powerful V8 ever produced in America by an auto manufacturer. Think about that for a minute. Every time we've introduced a new member of the C8 family, I've had to say it's the fastest Corvette ever. And so far, I can honestly say I never get tired of saying that, Taj.
Strangely enough, neither do I. And you and I have shared this stage many times, saying exactly that. So, you know, we got a car of extremes here, so let me give you some of the numbers here. 828 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot. That's at 6,000 RPM, but more importantly, it delivers over 800 foot-pounds of torque from 3,000 to almost 7,000. This thing pulls like crazy through the rev band. It comes from the 5.5 liter twin turbocharged double overhead cam flat plank crank V8 that we call the LT7. So other numbers, we're not done with our work, but we can give you other numbers we're confident of. We know the top speed is going to be comfortably over 215 miles an hour, making it the fastest, literally the fastest Corvette ever. Quarter mile time dispatched in under 10 seconds at a top speed about 150 miles an hour. So if you remember prior ZR1s, it's like 15 miles an hour top speed, higher than we've done before. So a massive step up from what we've previously been able to do. We upgraded the whole car, and you can see some of the aero stuff on Mark's car in particular. That downforce package creates over 1,200 pounds of downforce at top speed.
That's incredible. You think about that. Think about what that does to the rear end of the car and how that makes the car feel. It's magical. That especially is critical to the handling of vehicle dynamics, especially on the track. You can absolutely feel the magic each and every time you drive it. Every time you drive this car, it's a really amazing experience. The power, the precision of the steering, the grip, the braking, the downforce, it all works together in perfection. It is a triumph of vehicle integration. ZR1 represents nothing less than the pinnacle of engineering for Corvette, Chevrolet, and something only GM can do, and we do it in-house.
Yep, every bit of it. It's so proud for both of us to lead the team that's capable of doing this car, soup to nuts, bumper to bumper, all of it in-house. It's one of the best handling, most incredible cars I've ever had the pleasure of working on or driving. As Mark said, we knew with this architecture, the C8 Stingray just started it. We knew that would make all the difference. And as you get more and more power, the benefits of the architecture shine even more. It completely changes the perception of vehicle handling and responsiveness. No Corvette until the C8 ever felt so comfortable, so nimble, and yet completely stable. That's what really allowed us to really go for it on the ZR1, this big step up, because the architecture could handle it.